What's up, everybody? Today we have some good news and some bad news regarding the Elden Ring DLC, and I'm gonna get right to it. I'm gonna rip the band-aid right off. It's not coming in 2023. It will be releasing at the earliest in April 2024, and we got that information from the Kadokawa financial report. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So here is the full year forecast for the game segment for Kadokawa. Kadokawa, if you're not familiar with them, that's actually the parent company of From Software, and it says the results for the fiscal year ended March 31st, 2023 versus the forecast for the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2024 net sales. So it says a reactionary decrease in sales and profit is expected due to the profit related to the shipment of Elden Ring overseas in the fiscal year ended March 31st, 2023. From Q2 and onward, new titles below are expected to contribute to sales and profit. From Software is planning to release Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon on August 25th. We expect the fan base to further expand. And it says contributions made by Spike, Chunsoft's new games, and Kadokawa's mobile games. So that's what they have planned for the fiscal year of 2023. Now notice there's one thing missing: the Elden Ring DLC. It's not coming this year. So that's for the bad news. Now let's continue reading and we're going to get to the good news. For the medium to long-term direction, it says we are now developing DLC that will contribute to the enhancement of the Elden Ring franchise. We are pursuing the maximization of profit by prolonging the life of the IP. From Software aims to further strengthen its development capabilities by increasing personnel, etc. Additionally, we will strive to expand the scope of our own publishing and increase the opportunities for our media mix. We will reinforce our investment in mobile games that contribute to the maximization of the value of our IP, as well as in books and animations. In the future, we aim to establish a system that can develop 10 pipelines in parallel. So how is this good news? It's great news because it means that the DLC will be in the oven for about 2 years. Now we already know that it's been developed for the last year. It looks like they started working on it right after the game released, and it still has a year to go. So we can expect one of the biggest DLC we have ever seen from Software and probably from the gaming industry in general. Now, I do think that will come with a heftier price tag. I don't expect this DLC to be 20 bucks. It might be 30, 35, but I'm sure it will be massive. Now, From Software are not known to be a greedy company like Ubisoft, who tried to sell a DLC that was way overpriced and didn't do that well. But it doesn't even matter, in my opinion, how much they charge, even if it's up to 40 bucks. If it's a substantial chunk of content, I'm sure myself and all you guys will be the first one to pre-order it. Now, what can From Software do with 2 years of development for a DLC? Usually they ship out a DLC 1 year at the most after releasing the game. This is what happened with Dark Souls 1, with Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls 2, and Sekiro didn't have a DLC, although it did have a free update. Now, when a year rolled by and we didn't hear from the DLC yet, I was wondering what was happening. We heard the announcement a little while after, but I was really surprised to learn that the DLC will actually release 2 years after the game's launch. Usually that wouldn't be a good idea because the hype for the game is very much slowed down, possibly dead, but Elden Ring was such a massive hit that I think they can pull it off. So the good news is that the DLC will be massive and most likely epic. The bad news is we might have to wait pretty much 11 months for it, but that's not a big deal. There's a bunch of other games releasing until then. If you're not an Armored Core fan or you're not willing to try it out, there's a bunch of Souls-like coming out in the next few months, and I'm going to make a video on this very topic in the next week. Now, even though it is established by now and it's undisputed that From Software is the absolute GOAT of game development, there are some other studios that make very compelling Souls-likes, and that's why I will talk about that in the next video. So thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything on From Software and everything Souls related, and I'll see you guys on the next video.